Hello, my name is Kelly Williams, and I'm going to talk a bit about using industrial hemp for environmental remediation. I work at the DEP, and there are a lot of mining sites that have been left over post-SMCRA, the Surface Mine Control and Reclamation Act, that went into effect August 3rd, 1977. The places I'm looking at have been abandoned by the mining company after that date. Other countries have done many studies already in using hemp for remediation. A lot of it has to do with trying to extract heavy metals from the soil. In Poland and China, they've done a lot of research, and they have actually had a lot of success using this technique. It's actually very good and quite inexpensive way to try to remediate the soils. Now they're actually looking to possibly use it to clean water also, because it does seem to have the ability to extract it from liquid also. Some of the studies I've looked at have dealt with lead, zinc, and cadmium. Each of them are very different, so the properties are very different in how the uptake and what part of the plant gets the material in the end. That's something you have to consider, because if you actually are removing lead and things like that, cadmium, from the soil, and it's taken up in the roots, when you remove these plants, you have to dig every bit of the root system out and dispose of it properly. Another aspect of hemp I want to look at is trying to reform the soil layers that are on surface mines, especially ones that have been abandoned and they've been sitting for a long time. Even if they tried to take the organic layer off and set it aside, that doesn't mean it's actually going to work. So oftentimes you just have dry, flat dirt left over with nothing living in it, literally. So one of the things hemp is very good at is it grows very deep. It grows 1 meter or 1.5 meters, and after the first round of this has grown, this can all be plowed down into the ground. And then you're going to want to have a secondary planting of something in the Fabaceae or the legume family. They live with rhizobium and other microbes, but there are very few that are actually able to fix nitrogen or actually break the triple bond of nitrogen in the air. These can, and so a second planting of this, then it can be plowed down, will really help to start actually fertilizing the soil and regenerating and giving microbes you need in the organic layer a place to live. And if you're not taking up any very toxic substances, the hemp can be cut down at the end of the season and the roots can be plowed in. Alfalfa will go down again, or other legumes. And then the plant material and vegetation itself can be sold and used for industrial purposes, from hempcrete to BMW actually makes their car door handles out of it. So it's a very useful plant. All right, the last thing I'm going to talk about actually is the phytoremediation of aromatic pollutants. Now, depending on the type of pollutant, that will dictate how the plant treats it. They have found that it can have phytoextraction, which basically the plant can take the substance up, but cannot transform it in any way. So it will be stored in the vegetation of the above ground parts. It can also be stored in the roots. And that's something that has to be taken into consideration once you start really realizing what's being pulled out. There's also phytodegradation and transformation, where the plant can actually uptake the chemical and change it into something less toxic. And then it can be volatilized through the plant, where it takes it up and through evapotranspiration, it brings it from the roots, from the soil, all the way through the plant into the air. And then there's also degradation that can happen where the microbes, as I spoke of before, and even fungi and bacteria can remediate and transform these toxins or pollutants, and then they can be brought up by the plant. We have a lot of studying to do here in the United States. We really haven't spent a lot of time on it, but at least in West Virginia, when they passed the industrial hemp bill, all the seeds are required, and you get them from the Department of Agriculture, to be less than 1% THC. So there's not really a worry about medicinal or anything like that. The quality of the hemp is for industrial purposes. That being said, there's no guarantee if you plant this, someone won't come and take it. But there needs to be ample warning that this could be something very toxic. So as I continue this, anyone is more than welcome to contact me if you'd like more information, and you guys have a good one.